All right, how we doing, folks? So today's 1 February 2021. I got 7:05 a.m. So this video is going to be part two of winners and losers. Okay, this particular segment we're going to talk about hedge funds, Michael Jordan. Okay, and we'll talk a little, maybe a little bit about Robin Hood. Okay, but this is the losers segment because both those guys, that's Michael Jordan and the hedge funders, um, they lost out big time. Okay, and there's fears of market manipulation by millennials. All right, and Robin Hood, and I believe the SEC. Okay, they're going to try to do something about that to try to regulate this market manipulation through Reddit, okay, allegedly, and Wall Street bets. Like they're trying to ban that site, but all they really do is that site does is experts, like I think like Investor Group or like Motley Food. That's one I like to read. Um, and where they make bold predictions on stocks and which ones are going to flourish. Okay, and I think what it is they're trying to ban that site because the SEC, because they lost out. Oh well, it is what it is. Sometimes you have to lose. You know, I've known plenty stock investors that lost. I ended up losing a little bit of money myself in the stock market and in cryptos when I started out. I've been doing this for about 3-4 years now. Sometimes, hey, we got to take a loss every now and then. We got to get a little ass beaten. So, what I want to do is I want to talk about, first of all, like Michael Jordan. Like his name, it popped up into this. And I like to say this about Michael Jordan. You know, I've admired his craft as a player. I don't want to talk bad about Michael Jordan at all. He was all right general manager, and now he's the owner of the Charlotte Hornets. It was the Bobcats, and again he changed it back to the Charlotte Hornets here a couple of years ago. You know, of course, everybody knows him from his world-renowned product, the Air Jordans, and the Jordan Shoe Company. And he has other entities that he's making money that, you know, probably that people don't know about. You know, the guy's worth like $2 billion. Okay? Again, I don't want to talk bad about the man, but from doing research, and I spent all night Sunday night or half the night doing research on what happened, how he ended up losing out, and it was tied to GameStop, and then tied back to his name was he sold some minority stock to a couple of guys that were affiliated with GameStop. I don't know if they were investors or I don't know I don't know if they worked in economics or what. Okay, something like $300 million. So that was like a chunk of the team to these guys. And I'm just saying what I suspect. Okay, again, that what I suspect that happened, if you try, it's like putting together like a crime scene, was they took these investors took the money and put it into a hedge fund. I said in part one, I didn't know that hedge funds had bet against stocks or whatever, and those companies that fueled those funds for those hedge funds or the banks or whatever, they want to see companies spiral downward, go out of business, okay? And you get money for losing stock. For an example, I put in money for a hedge fund. I put in stock for, let's say, a McDonald's. Let's say if it was $1 a share. Okay, so I put a hedge fund for $1 for that stock or whatever to pay for that particular stock. That stock drops for down to 50 cents. So that means I get a $1.50. So that'll be per share for as much money that, you know, I can afford to put in. You see what I'm saying? Now, if that stock goes up, then I lose money, okay? If it went up to $1.50, that means I lose 50 cents. You know, that depends on how much money is invested. What you put into it is what you get out of it or what you lose. So that's the way a hedge fund work, and they have different companies, I guess, to, you know, accommodate that. I never knew that Jordan had invested in stocks, but I guess naturally that when he had put, you know, money into that Bobcat team, Charlotte Bobcats, when the old owner, Bob Johnson, which he bought it from, I guess, you know, naturally you have to put a certain amount of stock in there. So I guess he knew some knowledge about stocks. Maybe I didn't know, you know what I'm saying? So maybe it's a lot of stuff that he don't broadcast. So, you know, this is probably the reason why he's successful. Plus, the man has got a high IQ. This is Michael Jordan or whatever. And he's very, very good with money. So the money that they put in to this fund, I suspect was supposed to be in the Gamestop losing. I said in part one that Wall Street Bets had kept hyping this stock up for the last 4 or 5 months to be like, keep your money in. This company's going to get a big hit. And next thing you know, this company went up and up. It was $18 a month. I'm sorry, per stock a month ago. Now it went up to $325. So these two guys, including whichever else hedge fund people that probably bet against it, they end up losing big time. These two investors, from what I've read, and also YouTube, it was I think it was called Stock Advisor. It was that site and all that, and I think they endorsed Wall Street Bets. These guys lost $5 billion. Now, again, I'm telling you what I suspect, that Michael Jordan might have been trying to sell that team because they already took a loss this year. I'll be willing to bet he probably lost about, I don't know, $25 to $40 million or whatever after the shutdown here in March. So they weren't getting any fans or whatever. They weren't selling, you know, a lot of paraphernalia. They didn't have a winning record. And he's probably going to lose at least another $50, $60 million this year because they're not going to have any fans at all during the 2020-21 season. Okay? In fact, that probably won't happen until like, I'm thinking July, August, probably to the beginning of the football season when they're going to start having fans and so forth. So that's what I suspect, that he might have been trying to sell that team. But I think what should have happened is, okay, I don't know, maybe I'm speaking on what I would have done, is maybe gave that team to some investors that wanted to keep it. They would have lost a little bit of the money, but okay, he would have had some minority owners, you know, to help him out. But they would have made that money back probably in a few years anyway. Again, Jordan is worth $2 billion. So he lost $300 million from that deal. And probably he's going to lose $100 million from the lost sales from March of 2022. I think it's like right around Father's Day. So that's middle of June of this year. So he'll probably end up losing $400 million. Oh, he good. Well, Jordan good, though, okay? But what if there's regular people that end up putting money in hedge funds or whatever, and they probably end up losing all that money, end up losing everything they had? In fact, there was a guy that killed himself because something like he lost, like, I think 30 or 40,000, some young college guy or whatever. I don't like saying kids, but you know what I'm saying? And, you know, putting bets or whatever, and I guess he made bad investments, and he ended up falling into debt and killed himself. Guys like that, okay? I mean, Jordan is the elite of the elite, and he will be back, okay? Whether he wants to sell this team or not. That'll probably take a few years. You know, once people get out and they start getting back to these games or whatever, he'll make that money back in no time. So he's good. What else were we going to talk about here? A little bit about Reddit. Okay, that probably helped out Reddit's platform a lot. So again, you have winners and losers out of both these deals or whatever. They want to ban Wall Street bets because they think that it could be an inside job, that somebody knows what's gonna happen or whatever. And I do believe that a lot of investors, like if you're lucky enough to get on the guest list when new companies, come on the IPO, and you're able to make probably money off the stocks or whatever before they actually come out, because they'll have an exclusive IPO. And I found that out a few years ago. And then when the IPO comes out, all right, and by the time they come out with the IPO, it's too late. You might go 4 or 5 fold at the most, and you may have to keep that money in there for a long time. But you're going to make most of that money, okay, like if you get on the exclusive guest list. That's before it even comes out. All right, a lot of people know about that stuff before it comes out, okay? So I just think that the SEC feels like there was some information that got leaked out, and I'm saying all this stuff that got allegedly about this company, and there's a few other companies, if you do the research, like AMC, Bath and Body Works, Tootsie Roll, all right, that these stocks had blew up or whatever, okay? They call it pump and dump. But these guys are the losers, okay, on this. So I wanted to leave just by saying this. Guys, just be careful about embracing money, okay? Everybody can't be Michael Jordan, can't be like Mike. There's a scripture, I believe it was Proverbs I looked at last night, 13:11, okay? That if you embrace money, all right, you end up losing it fast. But if you gather it little by little, it will eventually grow. And that's going to take some time, guys. It's going to take you a little time. For you guys that end up winning out, don't flaunt it. Hopefully you could take the money and you can do what you need to do with it. There you got young guys, you could take care of your families or pay off your school loans, or maybe take it and invest in things like silver, because it's predicted that this silver thing is going to be advertised, and that's going to blow up too. I got some money in the silver, lucky me, or gold, something, or one of those stocks that's going to gain interest over time, like Facebook or Amazon, okay, or Tesla. You could take that money and do something else with it, cash out, So it's just something to leave you with. And I think that's with Michael Jordan and those guys losing out. That's a lesson all of us can learn from. And even the best ones or whatever have to take a loss. You have to go through those things so you can learn. It's a learning experience as we go through these perilous times. There'll be older industries that shed off, and the new industries will end up, becoming in prominence. Okay, and it's about repositioning yourself and making the proper adjustments. So I hope I left you something to stimulate thought. You learned something. I've learned a lot over this, about this over the weekend. And if you like the video, feel free to subscribe, share, leave your comments, likes. Check out some of my other videos. I appreciate you guys listening to me, and I'm just blessed that I'm able to to reach out to a few people that want to hear this message. All right, peace.